Here in America, work is in trouble. We've offshored our manufacturing, sent away good jobs, and lost so much ability to make things. American Giant is a company that's pushing back against this tide. They make high-quality clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more, right here in the USA. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com, promo code STAPLE20.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. We're live downtown Las Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. I was kind of blown away when I saw Dave Tuley tweeting about this over the weekend after Sunday's finishes, the crazy day that we had in the NFL for football contests out here in Las Vegas. And Dave Tuley joins us now here on the Progressive Guest Line. He's on XI View from Vegas. He works here at VSiN. He's covered sports for a long, long time, and the betting contest here in town. Dave, good afternoon. Thanks for the time. But you tweeted out, several contest winners told you they didn't believe their first place finishes until you called. Like, what does that mean?
Oh, I actually meant that as in past winners, like back in the days of the Super Contest. The one I specifically remember the barista at Starbucks that won, a local guy. You know, he'd been laid off during the pandemic and all that, and so yeah, I mean, he was actually working at the Stardust at the Luxor. when I called him to let him know that he had clinched, he had no idea. he just went to work, and he was trying to follow the games, but he was busy. I guess Starbucks is busy every day. So you didn't know it until I kind of called to confirm it for him.
Well, I don't know if some people didn't believe it, but last year the Booby Prize winners claimed they had no idea they won till it was over, and we got multiple tweets that the same thing happened this year, that the person who won the Booby had no idea again.
Yeah, especially I think we are seeing it more common with the Circa Millions contest. I mean, I know from my personal experience with my proxy clients, there's definitely quarters where people get off to bad starts and they send me their picks, and I'm like, are you trying to pick losers? Because you should be, because you're 9-1 after 2 weeks, and so I mean, obviously, we're in the business, and we're aware of the Booby Prize, and I think some people, again, they get into the season and it just kind of slips their mind, or if they're not that serious into it. But I mean, it is crazy.
Well, the other one is how many contests you have, and like, for example, the Westgate. They do 3 week, they do 6 week, they do 2 9 weeks. So if you're not keeping track and looking at this, that you go, hey, I just went 4-1, 4-1. 3-1-1, I got a shot, and then you look up and you cash top 5 in like the 9 week. How many examples do you have of that?
Right. I mean, every year, again, I send out text to my clients before every week, and again, I always try to remind them, hey, it is the 3rd week of the fourth quarter, or whatever it is, because you would think that people that put up $1,000 per entry, would be fully aware of the rules and be on top of this stuff, but it's again, as these especially circuit contests have just blown up in the number of entries. I mean, obviously, we also see it in the Survivor, where people don't put in their picks week 1. Every year, that's always a big story that people just can't understand, but it happens for multiple reasons.
You're mentioning you're a proxy, and we saw on Instagram and Twitter with Meatball Brothers. When were you aware of what they were going to do going into the final Sunday, with what their pick was going to be?
It came down to Friday. I mean, they all came to town. They pretty much knew they were going to do the Colts.
Okay.
There was some discussions about going with the Cardinals, which I was at Circa with a bunch of the groups all sweating it out, and that was the wild. You even tweeted out, Pauly, where the wildest 20 minutes for the Survivor contestants, because I mean, all 4 of them could have lost that were in the early games, and or all 4 could have still won, but it was there was one of the 18 that had the Cardinals in the afternoon, and they were sitting there loving it. I mean, there was a chance there at one point where they could have swept the whole damn thing.
Yep.
And I'm sure they were running around, trying to hedge more money because the equity in their loan entry was skyrocketing.
Sure. Can you explain how the Chargers decided the Circa Millions contest?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I think you wrote this at VSiN.com, right? You were explaining how the Chargers decided the Circa Millions contest.
Yeah, that was the Millions race was close too. And again, for people who don't know, that's the one where you pick 5 games against the spread, and Derek Stevens guarantees a $1 million prize, even though they didn't reach the $6 million guarantee also. But the victory formation came into the last weekend with a half-point lead over Team BP, but Team Victory Formation went 1-4 on the day, and the key game there was the Chiefs Broncos. Team BP had the Broncos minus 10.5, and Victory Formation had the Chiefs, and obviously that was a no-doubter there, one of the few of the day, and so that forced a virtual tie because Team BP also picked up a half a point of the push with the Bengals -2 on Saturday night. So then, then the TVP still had the Chargers ace in the hole the late game. So, but that wasn't any guarantee either early until they pulled away.
How about Super Contest Gold?
That one was split. Again, that's a $5,000 entry fee. And so it's supposed to be winner take all, but they don't have a tiebreaker, so there was a tie for $190,000 each.
We were told yesterday, I think one of the guys who split it, what did I say? Was it Jim Teager from back east?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
love
that's
that story.
Awesome, yes, absolutely.
Do you think 20,000 entries is a doable number next year, Circus Survivor?
I think so. I mean, I was skeptical when they first started the Survivor. I was like, people really be into this, but Derek Stevens really had just an awesome idea that really captured the public's imagination. And then obviously as they've had some $1 million payoffs over the years. It's just growing more and more, and obviously they've marketed it wonderful and with the guarantee. 20,000 entries, 20 million. Why not? I mean, because everyone I've been talking to, especially the Meatball Brothers, one of the 8 winners, they're telling me about all their friends that are like dying to get in the contest next year because they see how much fun that they've been having.
Sure. Mitch is sitting on a full house. I think he's got some information. But the other thing I hear all the time is we need a big-time college contest. And I've been told that William Hill wants to bring theirs back after they had a $1,000 buy-in and a $500 buy-in after they lowered it. But then, they merged with Caesars, and what happened there with the acquisition, it was 7 games, I think 7 or 8 games ATS you would pick a week. Any new contests on the horizon or what you're hearing or what people want?
Yeah, I hope William Hill Caesars brings it back because, I mean, for years, there's always been that, people clamoring for a better college contest. Mm-hmm. Again, I've been here in town from when Caesars early 2000s, they had one called College Knowledge. And then there was also one out at the Barley's over on Sunset Road. They had a $250 buy-in for a couple of years. So, but again, the college just doesn't pick up as much as interest as the NFL. I mean, it is kind of sad. And, even William Hill tried to do some guarantees to try and spark interest, but they still only got a couple, like 500 entries. I think their most year when they needed 1,000 to make their nut. So, I mean, hopefully, hopefully, again, as college football grows in popularity as well. I mean, it used to be that the books would always say that the NFL still always blew away the colleges, but now it's definitely 50-50 every weekend. It seems.
Yeah, you have.
So hopefully that momentum can carry over too.
Sure. For a long time, you've been known as a dog or pass when it comes to betting, specifically in the NFL. Well, you have a lot to choose from in the wild card round. Do you have a best bet at all with a dog this weekend, Dave?
I do like the Steelers. I bet it at +10. I mean, I think the play at anything over plus 8.5. I mean, those teams, they obviously know each other, playing each other twice a year. They split again this year with the Steelers winning the first game. I'm sure most people are still looking at where the Ravens blew them out the second time around, and that was at home, which is obviously where this will be in Baltimore. But I mean, no, I think that definitely has to come down to a one-score game.
You can follow Dave on X. He's at View from Vegas. Does a great job writing up sports betting content at VSiN.com. Thank you, Dave. We appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Yep.
Take care.
Also, think about the people who finished top 20. What does Circa Millions pay out? Is it top 50 or top 100?
Top 100. Westgate's top 20 now because of all the quarterlies.
All the quarterlies. How many people do you think that finished top 100 then?
Yep.
Had to get reminded. Oh, by the way, you got a paycheck coming. Oh, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, they do a good job, though. You get the email Monday or Tuesday morning, and but with the big one is also the 3, 6, and the 9 week, too. I would think with the quarterlies, what they have at the Westgate as well. You think you got some good news, though, on what you were being told about what some books are planning for
I was told
year?
off the record. I mean,
Okay.
if it comes to fruition, I'm telling you, it'll be awesome.
Okay. Very good.
Yep.
Getting ready for Big Game 59 with a deal to match. Save $59 off a VSiN Pro annual subscription when you sign up using promo code FTM. Become a VSiN Pro annual subscriber and bet smarter all year long with full access, every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, 24/7 video access to tune in anywhere on the VSiN Watch app, all the betting guides. Don't miss out on this big game deal. VSiN.com/subscribe, code FTM. Save $59 off your annual subscription today. Do it now. It was Damon? The kid who won?
Oh, Damon.
Damon, yeah, we had him in studio, and it was, go to work, show up. Wasn't even watching the game?
No, he wasn't. That day, he was sleeping. He slept in, went to work. Dave called him like, wait a second, what, I won? You got to be kidding me. He took down the super contest. So the group who won Circa Millions this year came close to setting the all-time record at Circa Millions.
Yeah,
that Durbify set a couple of years ago.
69. That's what you're up against.
Yeah.
It can be demoralizing and frustrating.
Yep.
You get the,
Up next, you're going to hear why betting alternate NFL win totals needs to be added to your portfolio. The results are the best I've ever seen tracking this.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We talk about this every offseason in the NFL. June, July, August, once the alternate win totals are released and you get more information on these teams, you find out more who's going to be involved, that alternate win totals are the way to go and the way to bet the NFL every single year. Maybe I should, listen to what I'm preaching, listen to myself occasionally. 5-1 overall with NFL win totals this year. Didn't bet any of them with alternate win totals. That has to change. Here are the results, Pauly. Went back and looked this morning. Mind-boggling. The Falcons' win total was 9.5. So that means their alternate win total under would be 8.5. They won 8 games. These all came in with alternate unders on the year. The following list. The Bears would have been under 7, 6, 5.5. I bet their win total under 9. Bengals under 9.5 came in. Their win total was 10.5. The alt was 9.5. Browns, it was 8.5 for the regular win total. That means and by the way, like DraftKings, they will offer, you can toggle right on wins when they're out next year, and they'll let you move them basically to any number that you want. The Browns went under every single number all the way down to 3.5.
When they came out here and another bad offensive performance and lost to the Raiders, I was on with the guys in Cleveland, Rizzo and Goldhammer. And at that point, I said, I cannot believe that their win total, adjusted win total, is still 6.5. And the audience, we were at Planet Hollywood, all their fans in the audience went, what? Where is that available? So it was like you could still clean up with it.
Oh, yeah.
It's still they're going to win 7 games after how bad Watson played and what it looked like?
That's another good point, by the way. Books leave up win totals throughout the entire year.
Yes.
The Cowboys went under everything to 7.5. Jags went, these are alt numbers I'm talking about again. They went under 6.5, 5.5, and 4.5. And the numbers that we're talking about that you can get at plus prices with this stuff will be astronomical. The Raiders were under 5.5 and 4.5. Dolphins stayed under their alternate win total of 8.5. Patriots, now here's the thing. They were 5.5, so their alternate win total would have been 4.5. They stayed under, they won 4. I know people were betting under 3.5. That one did not win. But the regular alt would have been a winner. Saints stayed under 6.5 and 5.5. The Giants, everything to 3.5. The Jets, everything to 5.5.
Oh, it's a big one.
The 49ers stayed under all the way from 10.5 to 6.5. Do you know what the Niners would have been under 6.5 wins, again, which is available? Massive number. The Titans stayed under 5.5, 4.5, and 3.5. Those were all the unders. Now we get to the overs. The Ravens, alternate win total over was 11.5, plus money. Nice plus money. That got there. Bills went over 11 or 11.5. Broncos went over from 6.5 all the way up.
That's a big boy.
Yep.
Win total 5.5.
The Lions won 15 games. Their alternate win total over was 11.5. So think about how much money was out there to be made on that team. The Chiefs over 12.5 all the way up. The Chargers went over 9.5 and 10.5. Rams over 9.5. The Vikings win total was 6.5. They went over every number from 7.5 to 13.5. What do you think the Vikings were to win 13.5 games to the over? Right?
Yes.
Stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Eagles from 11.5 all the way up. Steelers went over 9.5. The Seahawks went over 8.5 and 9.5. The Buccaneers went over 8.5 and 9.5. And the Commanders went all the way over from 7.5 up to 11.5 wins. At, again, the plus money out there at over 11.5 would have been huge. So when you combine all of those teams, either going under or over, that's 27 teams to hit their alternate win totals at plus money, and some serious plus money, obviously. It's the highest I can remember, 84%. The teams that were right at their number or within like a half a game. And this could, by the way, could vary from book to book. So like the Packers won 11. I think some books had 9.5. So that means they would have gone over an alt total of 10.5. But I'll count it as the Cardinals, Panthers, Packers, Texans, and Colts as the only teams who did not go over or under an alternate win total. That's absolutely astonishing.
I'm shocked it's only 5-2. And we only, I think, had 2 that came down to the win total on the final day.
Now, next year, you can't expect it to go 84%.
No. The other one we mentioned, too, yesterday was the Patriot alt. There was a juicy price on Patriots under 3.5,
right,
which got there with the win against Buffalo. Went over them, rather.
But all that, again, when we had that, this goes back to the summertime. For those of you new to the audience, Derek Stevens, Mike Palm, they put on like a blackjack tournament, which the end result is the participants, depending on where you finish in the blackjack tournament, will get an entry into a snake draft on a future for whatever sport that's for. And for the one in the NFL, I finished 4th out of 32 people in the blackjack draft. I wanted to take the Lions. I thought for sure they were going to be available. The guy picking number 1 overall took the Lions. So I had like a $7,000 bet, and I put it on the Falcons at 42-1. Right? We had good news that week. They just got Judon. They got Simmons. I thought Cousins was going to be okay. And they had the easiest schedule in the NFL. Didn't even make the playoffs.
Yep.
So that was but
Stormy took the Bengals at number 10. The Browns went 11. I took Miami at 12. The Bills went 13th. The Rams went 15th. The Rams are only 30-1, though. Pittsburgh went 16th.
Give me like the
Dallas went 3rd.
Yeah.
Oh God. 49ers went 5th.
Give me the teams and their odds below me, because again at 4th I was totally dejected when the Lions went. That was my team.
Okay, our buddy Dr. Gebhardt
took the Eagles.
Yep, 14-1. Then Baltimore went 7th.
Yeah, that's the
at
team.
11th. The Packers went 8th at
They were 13-1. I had no
Correct.
desire at that number.
Okay, Houston went 9th. Cincinnati 10th, as I mentioned. Pittsburgh down to 16, and then I don't know what 17 through 32 was.
Okay, I see. I think, as you like to say, I think I was in the right church but the wrong pew. I wanted to take a team with long odds that could get there. I took the Falcons. Wrong selection by me. What if I would have taken a team like the Commanders? Their odds to win the Super Bowl back whenever that draft was would have been
Yep.
stupid high.
Tampa had big numbers, too.
Yeah, huge numbers.
Even though they were coming off a winning the division again.
Well, and I just told you, like, their regular win total was 7.5.
Yeah.
But I can't believe that, man. 27 teams either went under or over their alternate win total.
I wonder where Denver went. And I know you're up against it. You're a 10-point dog, but your win total was 5.5.
Yeah. Which team would you like to have right now? Picking 12th overall. The Bills?
Yeah. I'd take Buffalo there, but it's also, well.
I thought Ravens where I was picking a 4th overall, but the number to me wasn't a great number in my opinion at the time.
It's hard. Last year I was partners with Tribuco. We got the Houston Texans with like the 4th to last pick at 250 to 1 or something. The ticket was worth $600,000. They won a playoff game.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a shot. If you upset Baltimore, you're right. You're in the AFC title game.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's why people love the league. But usually you get more turnover there too as well. More teams coming in, more teams dropping out. And no worse to first in 24 years in a row. No repeat champ in the NFC East. Incredible.
There you go.
Remember, file that one away for next year. That'll come in.
What do you think the highest win total will be on the board next year?
Is that real with Detroit's schedule? The opponents? That can't be real.
Oh, I can look it up right now.
Yeah, give me Detroit's opponents next year. When that guy sent that in, if that's real,
Their win total won't be more than like 10.5.
It can't be. Not with that schedule. The road schedule is ridiculous. I'm like, this can't be right. This is
okay. Obviously, they're division teams. I'm looking at next year. They play at Baltimore, at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They play at Kansas City.
It is real then. Oh my God.
At the Rams, at the Eagles, at the Commanders.
No.
Yeah, that's the road schedule next year.
No. Oh my God.
So what's their win total going to be? What if they win the Super Bowl this year?
Are you kidding?
Going to be 10. This year was 10.5. Couldn't wait to bet it over. Based on who they're playing next year, if they make it 10.5 again, and by the way, they lose like Ben Johnson and have other guys go.
Yeah, right. Got to
bet the under.
Someone will hire Glenn.
Sure.
Yeah. At Chicago, at Green Bay, at Minnesota, at Kansas City, at Baltimore, at Cincinnati, at the Rams.
Commanders and the Eagles. That's a fun schedule, isn't it?
Ready to try something different? Sign up, start playing the ponies on First Bet. First Bet U.S. based, offers wagering on hundreds of races every day across the country and around the world. Sign up firstbet.com, promo code VSiN200. Claim a 20% rebate for your first 60 days, up to $200. Head to firstbet.com today.
With a 17-game schedule, I think the highest number we'll have next year will be like maybe 12.5. Maybe 12.5. The lowest number will be, will any team have 3.5? Or will 4.5 be the lowest number they go to on a 17-game schedule?
Oh, you have to put the Chiefs up there.
Yeah, probably 12.5.
High.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll discuss the Broncos and Bills up next. Chad Andrus, denversports.com. Does he trust Bo Nix as a rookie quarterback heading on the road in the playoffs against this team? We'll ask him next year on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We'll hit NFL playoffs here, specifically the Broncos playing on the road against the Bills in Buffalo here at Circa. Buffalo currently laying 9 points in this game. The total is 47. Chad Andrus joins the program now, 104.3 The Fan in Denver. He hosts the Broncos pregame show as well, and he is on the Progressive guest line. Chad, good afternoon. Good to talk to you. How are you?
I'm thrilled to be back, gentlemen. It's been a long time.
It has been. I want to start here with the team as you're looking at these matchups from every possible angle and looking at the schedule that Denver played. And you can only play the teams that are in front of you, obviously. But where do you think their best win was, and how many good wins do they have on the year? I'll say it was week 3 at Tampa, 26-7. After that, kind of slim pickings. No, what are we doing here? Colts, Falcons, then what?
Yeah, I mean, on paper, it has to be that game because outside of the exhibition against the Chiefs on Sunday, it's the only team they beat that finished over 500. And what a lot of people don't want to note is in that game when Denver went down there at 0-2, Vita Vea and Antoine Winfield didn't play for Tampa Bay. So that's the only team they beat over 500 all season. And again, give the organization credit for winning the games they're supposed to, because that's something they didn't do over the last 9 years. But no, they couldn't beat the Chargers. They acted like they beat the Chiefs in Kansas City when the field goal got blocked on the last play, but they didn't. And then they finally did when, the Chiefs didn't take the game seriously on Sunday.
Right. So there's a lot of concerns here. The 1-7 record against teams with a winning record, throwing out what happened last week. They're also a rookie quarterback. But where are you at with the defense, which couldn't stop Baltimore, which couldn't stop the Chargers, couldn't slow down Cincinnati? They were going to be down 20-7 at home in the third quarter of the Colts game till Taylor pulled an all-time boner, what he did. So what do you think of how the defense is playing right now?
Yeah, it's shaky at best, especially depending on where you are with the Chiefs and the Ravens. Buffalo, you may consider this is the best team that will play all year. Certainly the best offense, I would think, because I think the Bills are better than the Ravens in that regard. I will tell you this. Sean Payton stuck with Vance Joseph last year after Miami scored 70, and they turned it around, went on a 5-game win streak, largely because of defensive turnovers. And VJ did a pretty decent job this year. I don't think he will be back as the defensive coordinator next year. I think that position becomes open, whether he actually gets a head coaching job. I know he's got at least one interview lined up, but they brought in Jim Leonard in the offseason. And Mitch, you know well what that means with Jim Leonard to coach the secondary. And I think it was a preemptive move going, okay, we can't fire him now, and there's no reason to make a move with Vance Joseph. But when they looked at what they were projected to be this year, if it would have gone in that direction, they had already made replacement in the building, and I expect Jim Leonard to be the defensive coordinator next year.
All right.
Yeah. Well, how are you? Sorry, man. How are you that bad, and you have likely the defensive player of the year?
And you also have Zach Allen, who was snubbed as a Pro Bowler and was dominant all season long. It's really because in the kind of the linebacking core, they are really, really thin and really pretty slow. They've struggled for a decade now to cover tight ends. And, they've got quality pieces on defense because Zach Allen, Jonathan Franklin Myers, Benito Cooper have all been really good up front. Surtain is elite and defensive player of the year. And even Riley Moss on the other corner getting his first chance to play is really, really good. But they're not that great at safety. They're not good at all at linebacker. And that's where the problems come in, is in the middle of the field.
Yeah. Now, he had an awesome rookie season. I, for one, did not see this coming. I did not like Bo Nix and his chances coming out of college to be a great NFL quarterback. He proved me wrong in year one. The kid was awesome. If it wasn't for Jane Daniels, he was going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Where are you at with the trust level? Because you're going to hear this a lot this week, Chad. Rookie quarterbacks on the road in the playoffs, not a good recipe for success. But what do you make of his chances against the Bills?
I don't love him. I can tell you that. And what's interesting about the Bo Nix argument is, whatever you were inclined to believe about him and how it would work with Sean Payton before the season, it pretty much played out whatever side you were on. Because obviously they had success. They won 10 games. They made the playoffs. So if you're a Bo Nix stan and you think he was the right choice in running Sean Payton's system, you're really feeding high on the hog right now. But going into Sunday's game, if you were a Bo Nix critic, let's throw the Chiefs game out because it was an exhibition. Mm-hmm. Going into that last week of the season, he was 5th in the NFL in attempts and 17th in yards. He led the league in 3 and outs all season. So if his name isn't Bo Nix first-round pick, if his name is Trevor Siemian or Case Keenum or Paxton Lynch or way back to Brian Griese or any other quarterback not named Elway or Manning, would those numbers be acceptable? I don't think they would. But they won 10 games and made the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. So everybody is, starting to start that train of franchise guy. I think he's somewhere in the middle where they know they have 3 more years on a rookie contract where they can try to build a team around him and see what it can do. But I think the book is far from out on him based on what we've seen from Mac Jones making the playoffs as a rookie, or Trevor Lawrence being in the playoffs, or C.J. Stroud's regression this year. It's a long way from being decided.
Very good answer. Excellent. Do you think they get blown out?
Yeah, I think it's a 2-score game for sure. What's weird, I was kind of looking at wild card history, and especially in recent years since we've only had the one team with the bye. And it seems like on odd-numbered years that we're now in, we get the better games, and the even-numbered years we get the blowouts. Because last year we had the 1-1-point game, and then we had 5 blowouts. But 2 years ago, 4 of the 6 were good games. 3 years ago, 4 of the 6 were blowouts. 4 years ago, in an odd-numbered year, we had 3 one-score games. So, like, I don't know. Maybe the trend is we're going to get close games again. But it sticks in my mind last year that, there was only one competitive game out of the 6 on Wild Card Weekend, and I don't think that's going to be a rookie quarterback going to Buffalo.
Have you had a chance to look at any player props yet? Books have dropped them already for the games this weekend. I'll give you an example. Cortland Sutton, awesome year. He was great again on Sunday. Nick's loves throwing to him. He's 62.5 against the Bills.
And he went way over that, right? And then Sunday against the Chiefs when he needed the 82. If the Broncos are going to have a chance in the fourth quarter, he's going to have to be over that. So if you think they have a chance in the game, then yeah, I would go over. The other argument, I guess, to make is if you think the Bills are just going to steamroll him, they're going to be throwing the whole time, and he's the primary target. So, yeah, I would lean that direction since it doesn't appear that weather's going to be any kind of a factor.
Yeah. What, do you have Bo Nix rushing yards?
24.5.
Okay.
It's a high number.
Yeah, but very good. Do the Nuggets get blown out tonight?
I think so. The Celtics just an embarrassing second half in OKC where they scored 27 points. They got everybody available tonight. And I think the last time they got worked like that by Indy, they responded and beat Toronto by like 40, right? And they're playing, I hate to admit it, but they're playing the worst defense known to mankind in Denver. And I think they're going to be pretty fired up to come in here and rip them apart.
These on-off splits with Joker are ridiculous. It's all time, right? Isn't it like minus 21 when he's off the floor, how bad they are?
Yeah, they are bad when he's off the floor, but I don't want that to take the spotlight over how good they are when he is on the floor.
Okay.
I think you have to be fair to Joker, and I know there's still people that resist, and there's people that will always fight against it. He's a top 10 player all time, guys. He's top 10.
Yep. I don't disagree. Yep. By the way, true or false, he's having the best season of his career.
Yes, offensively. Yes. No question.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to average a triple-double. It's gonna be a 30-point triple-double.
Yeah,
and shoot like 48% from 3.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
He might lead the league in scoring. He's like a couple of percentage points back of Giannis right now.
Yeah.
So
he could do that. He will finish top 3 in scoring, rebound, and assists.
Yeah. Any chance it's ever happened?
And 3-point percentage.
Oh, no way that's happened.
There's no way that's ever happened.
No chance.
Cannot.
No.
Impossible. All right, Chad. That was awesome. Great breakdown. Thanks for the time. Enjoy the game on Sunday, okay?
Thanks, guys.
There we go. You can follow him on X at Chad Andrus, 104.3 The Fan in Denver, and also host the Broncos pregame show.
Yeah, great to talk to him. And how about all 4? He'd be top 3 in 3-point percentage, too. Take VSiN wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app. Never been easier to stay connected to the action, whether you're on your phone, tablet, or smart TV. Absolutely free for a limited time with the VSiN Watch app. You get 24/7 live access to the audio and video streams, ability to stream directly to your smart TV for the big screen experience, quick access to clips by sport, tailored to your interest, and a search feature. It lets you find exactly the insights you're looking for from the experts. Don't miss out. Get the VSiN Watch app. Stay in the game wherever you are. VSiN Watch app. Get it now. This is
where he's sitting right now. Offensive leaders, NBA, points per game. Giannis, 31.6. Joker 31.5, SGA 31.3.
Okay, yeah. What do you got? Rebounds?
He's behind Towns and Sabonis.
Okay.
He's one full rebound behind Towns, and he's not going to catch Trae Young. Young's averaging 12 assists per game. Jokic is at 9.7. Here comes Cade Cunningham, by the way. Watch out.
That's right, yep.
He's at 9.5.
And then last check was 48% from 3 or 49% from 3.
We have odds for the next head coach for a couple of openings in the NFL. I'll tell you this, if these teams want this guy, make it happen as soon as possible.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We're live in Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. Some spots, globally speaking, Pauly, have odds up. Next head coach of these teams that have some openings now. We'll begin with the Chicago Bears. Cliff Kingsbury is the short shot at 2-1. Would you like that idea?
Yes, if you can't get Ben Johnson. My pecking order would be Ben Johnson and then Kingsbury, and believe it or not, Big Mike McCarthy. That'd be my
offensive guy?
Yeah. You have to fix Williams. It starts and ends there.
Johnson is 4-1. Here's what I will say. An offensive guy, I think, has to be the choice here for the Bears. I think it has to be. I don't know if Kingsbury is a good head coach. I think he's an awesome offensive coordinator.
Oh, yes, he is.
And we have no idea Ben Johnson will be a good head coach. But
sure.
we know that he is elite as a play caller and as an OC.
Right, but that's a direction you have to go in based on how bad the offense was, and you went defense with Eberflus, and it was a disaster.
Right, and again, you have a problem here with Caleb Williams that you need to fix.
Right, and you have the history and rapport there already with Kingsbury. And I just love that last game on Sunday when they get the ball inside the 5 and Quinn looks right at him. What do you got for me? I'm not kicking the field goal to force overtime. What do you got? And he's right there looking at his sheet, ready to go. Bam! Touchdown. Win the game. Huh? And they were so good on fourth down this year and so good on offense. And what he did with Daniels, to me, if you can't get Johnson, you got to go Kingsbury. Now the Dallas thing gets wild here with McCarthy. That maybe it appears that he wants to leave. Mm-hmm. And Jerry's playing games.
Well, he was a lame duck coach, right? Final year of the contract.
Yeah.
Never extended him. That's never a good situation to be in. And I don't think, the writing is probably on the wall here. McCarthy's been there for 3 years. Now he's got that Jerry Jones stench around him. And I don't think McCarthy's a good head coach, but Jerry Jones is a terrible owner in terms of winning X's and O's, hiring the right guys underneath him. So,
did you see the statement that McCarthy comes out, I'm a winner? I'll do a good job. Okay, you won a Super Bowl, and you had Rodgers.
Yeah.
Again, it goes back. It's like Bobby Cox with the Braves. I'm a winner. You won the division title 12 years in a row and won one World Series.
I was thinking about that today with the McCarthy stuff. How many times overall that team underachieved.
Yeah. You
had Aaron Rodgers in his prime, one of the top 3 quarterbacks I've ever watched play in my entire life. And it was also the organization's fault because they always wanted to draft guys and they would never get the help and never sign free agents and yada, yada, yada. But when you had Ryan Clark on ESPN explaining that they're calling the same plays 10 years after they played them in the Super Bowl, that's kind of a problem. Mm-hmm. That's an issue.
Yep. McCarthy's 33-1 to go to the Bears. I texted you yesterday before I saw the odds. Someone is going to hire Liam Cohen, the OC at Tampa, who also has done a great job. And remember, their running game was pathetic before he got there. He is $3 to be the next Jacksonville coach. It goes Cohen, Johnson, Joe Brady, in that order.
Which Joe Brady is going to be a very popular name that you're going to hear about here in the next couple of teams as well. We don't know if Joe Brady will be a good head coach, but some teams got to find out, though, right?
Yep. Race is on for Vrabel. I asked a couple Jet fans. They said, nope, he's going to New England. Well, I like because Brady make the phone call out here.
Well, he's minus $4 to go to New England.
Yep.
Brady can't allow this to happen. Tom Brady, minority owner of the Raiders. By the way, if you didn't know, if you're just tuning in, haven't heard the news today, Antonio Pierce has been whacked. So to me, the writing should be on the wall here. Okay, you were celebrating after you won meaningless games down the stretch, and I'm talking to Raiders owner Mark Davis, and then he listened to guys like Brady, said Pierce has to go. Fine. Then Brady should be telling him, Vrabel's got to be our guy. If that's the case, make it happen this week. Let's get the ball rolling here. Don't waste time. Patriots on their clock. It would make sense for Vrabel to go there. And these other teams, too, like the Jets, maybe like some others as well that are going to have interest. Don't even allow it to happen. Sign this guy. You have to get this right. And I have no faith the team will. So, Vrabel, I think, is the best option for the team.
No doubt. And I if I'm him, I take the Raider job over the Patriot job. Patriots are set at quarterback and have a ton of money. But it's weird how Kraft has been doing things.
That's weird, and also he's following still in like Belichick's foot. Played for him for his whole career.
Oh,
and
sure,
then they gave Mayo 1 year. Would you want to follow that, by the way?
Yeah.
Although the Raiders gave Pierce 1 year too, but
yep. Now the Jets thing's wild. Rex Ryan's plus 240. Vrabel's in that range as well. Aaron Glenn's 10-1. Flores is 10-1. I don't know what they're going to do. Rex is confident. Rex interviewed today. Rex thinks he has the job.
Would you want to run it back?
No, I wouldn't. I'd go, well, if I can't get Vrabel, I'd look at Glenn or Flores.
So you don't have a preference there, or are you saying that because you want defense? I have nobody has any idea who's going to be playing quarterback for the Jets next year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that Jets defense, it stunk this year.
I know. It's terrible. There's too much talent there. What happened?
So maybe the right coach will suck it out of them again. I refuse to believe that all those players individually are that bad.
Right.
Collectively, it should have been one of the best units in football.
It
and
was great last year.
Right?
I know. Brady is $3 to the Saints.
Well,
Kellen Moore is 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn, I've heard the Glenn rumors there for a while. He's 8-1. Get out of here with Matt Nagy. If you're not serious, if anyone's talking to that guy.
Well, people are.
Come on.
Yeah, but that's
Matt
you're not
Nagy.
going to hire him.
Give me a break. I don't mind. I think Anthony Weaver did a good job with Miami, too, although he's not going to get the job. But that's what the odds are at with the Saints.
Oh.
I'm curious to see what they put up with the Raiders now with Pierce out.
I think it would be totally cool if Brian Flores landed at the right spot. And I have who's right for the Saints? Who's the right guy for that job?
I don't know. Are you running it back with Carr? That's the other thing.
He said he's not going to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
So
he's got a little bit of leverage. They did go 0-7 without him.
Yeah, right. But that team with the salary cap problems that they have, not a lot of hope next year for
some
that
bad
team.
jobs. That's the problem. You give me a chance. I want to be a head coach. A lot of these options are excrement. Terrible.
Again, I think Bill Barnwell does a great job at ESPN. I completely disagree. He called the Jaguars the best opening in the NFL. I think there's a chance that opening stinks.
Yeah, that roster's phony.
Yes.
That is not a great roster. I don't get it.
I'm so far away from being convinced that Trevor Lawrence can even play in the league, as I've stated many times on this show. And beyond him, I mean, if you were going there knowing that Lawrence is going to be awesome, okay, you can deal with that. But he's not. And the other talent they have on the team, okay, so Brian Thomas, awesome rookie, that's great. I would tell you that wide receivers they're not exactly a dime a dozen, but you can find wide receivers. You going to find a bunch of talent on defense all of a sudden for this team? Long ways away.
Imagine Big Mike leaves, Cowboys opening. And the other thing is, you got to work for these guys too. Would you want what if Irsay fired Steichen? Like, who would want that job and work for him?
Oh, I know. Yep.
I mean, with his history, ESPN.com today mock draft. Cam Ward #1, Sanders #2.
Well, Cam Ward's now favored to go #1.
Hunter #3, Carter to the Raiders at 6, Mason Graham #7, McMillan to the Saints at 9, the Arizona wide receiver.
Right.
Everyone has this. Genty to the Cowboys at 12.
Not everybody. I saw somebody else have him going like 15 somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was that? Every mock I look at has that landing spot. Okay. And Warren to the Colts.
The Penn State tight end?
Yeah. I think the Colts need some defense.
Yeah, they need probably something else other than tight end in the first round.
Uh-huh.
I like that kid. He's good. Again, but if they would fire Steichen, we're talking about all these you have no idea what you have at quarterback in Indy. Paul, Richardson can't complete a pass from me to you.
I don't know what they're going to do. Tough decision. Like, he wants to be, he's open to a competition, someone to challenge him and push him. But then what are you going to do if maybe Flacco's a better option, even though he had his ups and downs? VSiN fans, you're in luck. Circa Las Vegas owner Derek Stevens, who's in studio in half an hour, offering you 15% off at 3 incredible properties. Circa Las Vegas, the D and Golden Gate. Whether you're hanging by the pool or enjoying all the excitement Vegas has to offer, you'll save big with promo code VSiN15. Book your 2025 stay now, circalasvegas.com. VSiN15, get 15% off. Your Vegas adventure starts here, circalasvegas.com. VSiN15.
Is there a game that you love this weekend, right now in the wild card round? Dave Tuley a little bit earlier, but he plays almost all dogs anyway. I said, what's your best bet? To him, it was the Steelers when it was +10. They took a little bit of money now down to 9.5.
I'd say my favorite game's the Chargers. Based on how Houston comes limping in, and I love Harbaugh in this spot.
Yeah.
And Herbert's been great.
I'm kind of getting there with I was already there, but the Eagles.
Yeah.
Just whether or not I want to bet them. Do I want to lay like a little bit more than $2 on the money line, or do I want to lay the 4.5?
a tough handicap because what if either quarterback takes a big hit early on?
How about this? Who screws up the money line parlay? If you go Bills, Ravens, Eagles, it pays better than even money. If you throw Ohio State into the mix, it's more than 2-1. Philly or Ohio State?
I'd say Eagles, possibly the Eagles.
Okay.
Don't you agree?
If I had to pick one out of those four?
Yes.
I guess.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.